How's it going, YouTube? Right, today I thought we'd have a quick catch up with both of these vans and see where we are and what we've got to do and all the plans going forward and stuff like that. Before we do anything, we've got a quick job to do which will put this whole video into some context. I need to get some better plates and mount them a little bit better than that, but it'll do for now. But as you can see, I've taken the plate back off of that. That's back on the original one, and it's now on the Peugeot. And what that means is from the 1st of December, this is going to be fully taxed and road legal and ready to actually use. And this one, I've taken it off the road for now. Right, so let's talk about this one first and what we're doing. As I've said, I've took it off the road for now, and that's how it's going to stay for the next couple of months. I think the MOT runs out in a couple of weeks, and to be honest, the 6 years I've owned this van, the MOT being a couple of weeks before Christmas every year is a complete nightmare, because this has never actually flown through every time. Apart from last year, I think it did actually. The biggest problem before was when I had those low profile tyres, and the camber on it was always wearing the tyres out, so you can guarantee every Christmas it cost me a set of tyres. This is completely different. This is fine now. So it's nice to get the MOT away from Christmas on this, which is what I'm going to do. And then what my next plan is, I'm going to sit on this for a couple of months, just while I get some more things done on the Peugeot, which we'll talk about in a minute. And then I've got some changes I need to make to this. I want to make some changes to the electrics. I'd like to get a new battery if I can as well. In the front, we've got a couple of little bits and bobs we need to sort out, like this material here. You can see it's a bit slack. I want to tidy the whole van up, make it a little bit tidier than what it actually is. Then I think come next spring, once I've done all the bits and bobs and I'm happy with it, I'm actually going to be selling this van because it's pointless having two. It's a bit expensive running 3 vehicles, so I want to be running just 2, to be honest. So next spring this one will be up for sale, but I want to get all the stuff sorted out first to make it a nice van, because this has been an absolutely fantastic van for me. I've just got a few things that I want to sort out and get it back to how I'd like it to be. And then it'll be ready for the next owner. It's a 54 plate van. It's done 240,000 miles. Obviously we've had new engines and everything else, as you've seen, so it's never going to be a brand new van, but it's been absolutely fine for me. We just need something bigger, which is what we've got there. So that's this van. This van is going to stay like that for a couple of months. Right, so now this van, let's have a talk exactly where we are and the next jobs that we've got to do on it, so we can see what we've got left and what usable state it's in right now. Starting from the outside, earlier on we fitted those spotlights, didn't we, by aux beam. That was near the beginning of the van. I've got some more of those lights coming from aux beam, different type, to fit in the front grille there, just to make it carry on with the theme that I'm actually going for, which is similar to this van here, which is more of a kind of a ruggedy kind of style, which is what we want. We all know this is not an off-road vehicle, but it does look nice, that style. I do like it. Eventually, obviously, we'll be going for the wheels as well, so I'm most likely going to be going to Rogue Alloys, and I'm going to buy a set of wheels for that. Similar sort of style to these. I'm not going to go for the BF Goodrich all-terrain tyres again. I'm going to go for a slightly different tyre. Not that these are a bad tyre, these are absolutely fantastic, but what these are is a fuel guzzler. They do knock your miles per gallon down by quite a bit, those tyres, and I've heard that there's some different types, pretty similar, nice sort of thing, that we can put on the wheels that'll be a bit more miles per gallon friendly. So that's what we're going to have on this. Obviously there'll be 5 of those, because round the back, as you can see now, I've got a ladder fitted. It's just got the standard spare wheel on for now, just to show. Right at this very second, it's just cable tied on. I need to get a little mechanism to bolt it on and get it on with some locking wheel nuts and stuff like that, which I'm going to do later. This particular ladder, I didn't actually do a video on building it or installing it or anything like that. The main reason is because this is a one-off built ladder. I did find it quite difficult getting a ladder and a spare wheel in one for this particular vehicle, so that's why we went down the route of a custom one. I did the drawing and the design, and I had a friend build it and weld it all up for me. So that's why I never did a video on it, because I didn't make it myself and you can't buy it. But what I've done is I've got the brackets there, so it's bolted in there into the hinges to give it the strength. So it's stabilised here at this side through the body. So that makes it a really nice solid little thing. And then what I've got here is I've got a little step there. Down here I'm going to get one of those mast steps that fold down and screw it onto there. And then we'll be able to use that to get to the top if we ever need to. To be honest, there's not a lot of reason why we'd need to get up there, but it does look good for kind of show, and it follows in with the theme that we're going for. I do want to get some more lights around the top as well, so we can switch those from the inside. So if I want to shine down some spots on either side or the back or anything like that, I can do. So I need some little like 3-inch light bars or something like that that I'm going to fit up there on the roof rack. So if I open this back carefully, because that wheel's just cable tied on. All right, and let's have a look inside. Right, so let's get the lights on so we can see everything properly. Right, so there we are, there's all the power on there now. As we know, all the electrics is more or less done. We've got a few bits to do. There's some extra wires and things dangling down in there. There for tank sensors and things like that, which are going to be fitted when we do the plumbing. In the middle here, this is going to have some linear sliding rails, like I've mentioned before, and a board going across and a handle there where we can slide it all the way out, and it's going to be like a storage rack that the bikes can fit on. I've still got a bike here. I still need to do a video on this actually, because this is a great little folding electric bike by DYU. This is a T1. What I do need is I need 2 of these so they can sit side by side on this pull-out little thing, and then obviously they'll be my bikes that are going in the camper. And then what that should leave me is this sort of section here, which I'm going to make some shelves and cupboards and things like that to store pipes and cables and anything else garagey that we need to put in the back, like this All Powers little power pack at the back, because I want some backup power in the van as well. You can see through there into the bathroom. That's going to be boarded up from the other side very shortly. The bit that I've cut out there, the reason why I've done that is so when it's boarded from the other side, that gives me about 50mm more depth to mount the water pump and stuff like that onto, to get it further away out of the garage, because every centimetre counts when you're doing it in vans. So all that is going to be covered as well with like a little access panel or something, so we can get to all the water systems, and I'll be doing that very shortly. Looking at the top, as we saw in the last videos, this area, the bedroom area, is kind of more or less finished now. The only bit that's not done is inside these cupboards, as you can see there. So, because what we've got to do is we've got to line them out. Like I said, I'll show you how to do that when I come to do like the little detailing stuff after we've done the major jobs, and we're going to board these out and make them look like this on the inside. But for now, they can be cleaned out, and these are perfectly usable. The same as this bed. This is all ready. We've got some stuff on the bed. We'll have a look at that in a minute from the other side. But as you can see down there, the kitchen units are now done, so let's go around and have a look at them. Right, so as I said in the last video, the kitchen units, I made them stick out more or less to the same length as the worktop. Because this space is just wasted space up here. If you don't, it's pointless having all this space empty and ending your cupboard down there where the door is. You might as well bring it over, it overlaps. It gives you a nice little area to have a light under it as well, to light up all the kitchen area. And then you've got a lot more cupboard space, and you're not going to bang your head on it because you can't get anywhere near it anyway because of this. And this is how it looks from the inside. You can see now this kitchen area is more or less done as well. Same thing. Inside the cupboards, we need to line these cupboards as well. This one is shallower because of this bit for the door, but to be honest, it's still pretty deep and a decent sized cupboard. And this one over this side, this is a nice deep cupboard to get all your plates and things like that in. And also behind the panel that I'm going to put up to line it with, we've got all access to this wiring as well. And that wiring goes all the way down through this cupboard. As you can see, this cupboard, I made it big enough to get the air fryer in. I am going to put a shelf in about here, so we've got a little shelved area at the top for some stuff, and that gives me access all the way down the back other wiring as well. So once that's lined off, you'll obviously not see any of that. So the same as all the cupboards, any lining that I'm going to put in, I'm going to have it all on little Velcro sheets, so I can pull it away if I want to, and gives me easy access to this wiring, so I can add things and change things at my will. One thing I've got to change a bit later on, if you remember when we did this kitchen unit, I did the iron-on edging in like a white banding because I thought it'd look quite good. But it turned out a little bit weird because you can't get these edges perfect. Well, I can't, as I'm not a carpenter. I can't get these edges perfectly parallel. So what it means is they highlight how wonky my cupboards are. So what I'm going to do a little bit later is I'm going to take all that white edge banding off, and I'm going to use this one that I've used up here. You can see this one it might look black on this camera, but this is like a really dark navy blue, which is similar to this colour here that I'm using on the panels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit this one on all this banding down here and get rid of those little white bits, but I'll do that later in the detailing. Obviously in the front here, I've not even started the plumbing yet. So one thing I've not done is I've not fastened down this sink yet, because I want to be able to pull it out to get behind it, to fasten down the taps and do all the plumbing a bit easier without things in the way. So as I do the plumbing, I'll be doing things like fastening this sink down. I've got to do all the drainage and things like that once we get to the plumbing side of it. And that's the same in the bathroom. As you can see here, this is one that I've not even started yet. So the first job I do actually need to do in here is I literally just need to ply line it all. This is all going to be 5mm ply. I don't need to do the side. This is going to be 5mm ply. This one here, it's either all going to be 12mm, or it's going to have at least a section down here that's 12mm, so the shower taps can fit onto that bit. That'll need a bit more girth of wood to fasten onto, so it's not breaking anything. And then once it's ply lined, we can use a tanking kit, paint it all up and waterproof this whole room. And we'll turn this into like a bit of a wet room, but that is one for a later video. And then we're going to have a tambour door, which is more or less the same thing as that, but on its side. It's going to be the same colour as that, and that's going to go across there for the bathroom door. Looking in the front, what you can see here is I've not done this cupboard yet. Main reason is because I need to cover all these sides all around here first. Once I've covered all those sides, then I can build this bit that goes across here. I'm going to have a little panel that goes down and across to have these switches in, and it's also going to have the heater control panel in here as well, because it's nice and high up and out the way. What I was going to do is I was going to make some panels that go up there and scribe them all in and stuff like that, but for one, I couldn't be bothered. Two, I don't think my skills are quite good enough to make that scribing nicely. I've noticed a lot of people, they put a board on there and you end up with this little gap here that you can see into, and it just looks a bit rough. So what I thought it's better to do was get these Solway panels. I got these ones from Magnum Motorhomes. I've got a lot of stuff in this van from Magnum Motorhomes. They're super fast delivery, to be honest. That's why I use them. And I always find the prices are really good as well. I didn't get these panels straight from Solway. They're actually a couple of quid cheaper per panel at Magnum. But what these will do is if I grab one, these fit quite nicely. Not quite at this minute they don't, because I've got to trim them down. But if I sit that one there, what you'll see is it's a bit high at the minute because I've got to trim the top. But when you see how they fit, is that bit there will fit behind this rubber, and then that'll line up nicely with that, and it's the same colour as the original panels as well. So I've literally just got to trim that bottom down there, because obviously your floor height is going to be different in every van. So once I've trimmed that down to fit, they'll fit quite nicely, and they're going to cover up all these gaps here. This front panel, similar sort of thing. See if I can do it with one hand. But this is a similar thing. I need to trim the top because obviously I've got this type of ceiling and you don't normally have that. So I need to trim the top to get it to go up a bit higher. But as you can see, that's going to fit in nicely. We've got a nice little opening there. And that's going to trim it all up really nicely and make it look a bit more of a professional finish to what I could actually do myself. So that is one of the jobs I'm going to be doing pretty shortly, so I can get this cupboard built and finish all this area up here. The next job actually, which is more important than this one, is the heating. I've bought the heating and I've bought the water heater as well. This is all going under this seating here. The fitting of this will be in literally the next video after this one, because it is the job I'm doing today after I've done this little video here. The reason why is because the only thing stopping me actually using this van now, because I can manage without plumbing, I can manage without the bathroom. The only thing you can't really manage now, especially because we're coming up to December, is heating. I don't need the water heater working yet, but the diesel heating I do need working. In the Volkswagen for the last 5 years, I think it is, I've had an Autotherm diesel heater. This Autotherm diesel heater, it has never let me down once. It's always started up when I want it to start up. It's super quiet, it's super warm. I cannot fault it in the slightest. So because of that and this Autotherm heater, in my pile of crap here, I've bought another one. But I've not bought this one from Autotherm. What I've done is I've bought this one as part of a kit from Bobble Vans, because I want to use the Bobble Vans water heating kit as well. So we're heating the water not only off electric, which we've got here. I've got their dual element version, which is, I suppose, their top of the range one, with the 240 and the 12 volt electric heating for the element. It's also got a heat exchanger down there, so it can take the heat from the diesel heater, and through the heat exchanger it'll heat the water as well, and these are supposed to be really super fast at heating. This one is their new version as well, that's got their new flush mount panel with the little touch buttons rather than the bigger clicky ones. So we're going to try and fit their new version of this. So we're going to use this as the heating and the water heater. This is a 4 kilowatt version as well. The one in the Volkswagen is a 2 kilowatt. Because the van's bigger, I wanted to use a bigger one. So that will all literally be in the next video. Right, while we're talking about stuff, there's one little thing I want to take out of this van. In here, I've always had a little EDC pouch, and one of the things that is in this pouch that I've had for a few years now is this snazzy little torch here. This little snazzy torch here, this is an Olight batten free. It is absolutely ridiculously bright for a tiny little torch. The reason I'm showing you this is because recently Olight reached out to me and said, do you fancy trying our new arc field range of torches? And because of my previous experience with Olight, and I knew what they were, I said yes straight away, because the quality of these things is absolutely fantastic. The same as this one here. They're not cheap at all, but like everything else in life, you get what you paid for. This particular one is the Arcfield Ultra in olive green, aluminium body. We've got a 900 milliwatt UV light, which can be used to see details that you don't normally see. So you can use these for checking how clean things are and things like that. I've been trying it in the house, and when you shine it on sides that you think are really clean, it turns out that most of them, or at least in my house anyway, are absolutely disgusting, and it makes you embarrassed and you need to clean everything. And as you can see there, we can light up the lume on watches and things like that. We also have a laser as well. Lasers are essential for me for one reason only. And the third setting is a torch. This particular one on the Ultra is a 1400 lumens, super bright. If you press it and hold it, it kind of cycles through different brightnesses. And a bit of a flash warning here, if you press it twice, it does like a flash thing, so it's like a panic thing. So if you're getting attacked or anything like that, you can quickly press it twice, and what it does is it flashes very bright right in people's eyes and disorientates them. The best thing about this is how they charge. And it's the same with this baton free as well. This one charges in the same way. These chargers here are actually magnetic. As you can see there, it's stuck to it, and when it sticks to it, the light goes red to say it's charging. Pro version is like it as well, and also this baton free that I've got as well, that charges in exactly the same way. The Pro version is a little bit cheaper than this Ultra version, but the only difference is this one is a 1300 lumen rather than a 1400 lumen. And you see you've got a little battery level there as well, what's left in your battery. I'll put a link down below where you can check these out. As I said, they're not the cheapest thing in the world, but you do get what you pay for. These were given to me by Olight, as I've said, but this particular one here, I bought this one myself a few years ago, and I've been really pleased with it. Right, so back to the van. The next job, literally what I'm going to do is fit this heating and this water heater, even though the water heater won't be ready until I've done the plumbing. I need the heater fitted, and then I can use this van. I keep pointing at this, but what you will notice is this cushion's missing, so I won't actually be able to use the seating area properly yet, because I need to get some cushions made up for all of this area, some proper nice custom ones. But to be honest, once I've fitted this heating, the bathroom doesn't really matter. I can manage without the plumbing for now, so if I do want to nip away, I can actually use this van. I need to fasten the fridge back because that's not properly fastened back yet, but all that's working and everything else, so there's no reason at all why I can't actually start using this van for at least a couple of trips, just to make sure that everything is as it is expected. Once I've done the heating, then I'm going to start in the shower, start getting all the shower lined and everything else. I need to fit those water tanks underneath, and then start the plumbing and get the plumbing done. And then, to be honest, apart from the wheels, we should be more or less about done. And then I can concentrate on the finer detailing. So I expect this van to be finished within the next couple of months. And that's kind of where we are with the van as it stands. This Volkswagen, I'll put some more details up when it actually comes to the time when I am going to sell it, but it's not going to be for a few months yet. So I've hoped you've been enjoying this van build up to yet. We've still got plenty more to do. Like I said, the next video is going to be this heating. We're going to get the diesel heater fitted, so don't forget to subscribe if you want to see some more of that, if you're not subscribed already. Like the video if you liked it, and I will catch you in the next video. Cheers.